How to level up. Guys, it has never been easier to level up because society is so distracted, worrying about things they should not be worrying about and just getting caught up in so many different things that if you are truly worried about leveling up and reaching your full potential, it has never been easier. I used to always, do what people were telling me to do what society told me to do. I didn't look the way I wanted. I didn't feel the way I wanted. And because of that, I realized I had to get somewhere else in life. I had to lock in. I had to level up. And I had to go through the process of leveling up myself to realize that is the best way to live your life, by incorporating the habits I say in this video, doing the things I recommend, because that is the best way to level up and reach your full potential. And like I said earlier, it has never been easier to get ahead in society because everyone's so distracted. So let's get right in this video. The first thing to level up your life is your diet. Your diet is the base for everything. If you have the ability to have the discipline to control what you're eating and at what points of the day you are eating, you will have the ability to control everything else. But the point where people fail at the very start is the fact that they can't control their diet. They have their favorite foods, their favorite cheat meals, and they're eating those every single day, wondering why they can't sleep, why they're lethargic, they have brain fog, they're not reaching their physical goals, all the things that come from not having the right diet. And even when I had a pretty good diet in the past, I would eat protein bars, have protein shakes, eat chicken. Like, I thought all these foods were the best to reach my full potential because they had the most protein. But the first thing you guys have to understand is the fact that you have to eat to optimize your hormones. Your hormones are the most important thing because when you're sleeping, you produce testosterone. You want to eat foods that increase your testosterone the most so that you can have the best hormones to actually build the most muscle and burn the most fat. And on top of that, you won't have brain fog, you won't have acne, all these things that, protein powder was giving me, I don't have because I eat the right foods. I eat, whole foods, animal-based foods, fruits, sweet potatoes, beef, eggs. Those four things are the staple of my diet. Those are very simple foods, very good foods for you. The beef and eggs that I eat have a lot of micronutrients, iron, magnesium, a lot of creatine in the beef. The eggs are filled with nutrients, the yolks. A lot of people eat egg whites. Like, bro, eat the whole eggs. There's so many nutrients you're getting from the egg yolks that you're not getting in the egg whites. But people think because the egg whites have the most protein, that is the best thing to eat. It is not about protein, bro. It is about optimizing your hormones, eating the most healthy foods, and that is why you should stick with the diet that I just said. But just, a step back. If that's too hard for you to do, just by switching your diet, not snacking, eating foods that maybe have more protein, less sugar, just, getting those little victories first, that is the best way to start leveling up your life. But once you get past those first steps, like if you've been going to the gym for a while and you're still having protein powder and protein bars, you gotta stop. You gotta eat the best foods to optimize your hormones. That is why you don't look the way you want. Maybe, you have acne, you have an inflamed gut, all these things, you have diarrhea. These are all things you get from not eating the foods that optimize your hormones. That is why I'm such a big advocate for beef and eggs. And a lot of people have a problem with beef and eggs with the fact that it's going to give you a heart attack. It's like, bro, eating cholesterol is really good for you. The more cholesterol you eat, the less you naturally produce. So it's not that bad to actually eat cholesterol. And on top of that, you're getting your protein, you're getting all the nutrients you want from that. You're getting so many more nutrients from those foods than the other foods people are eating. Optimizing your diet is huge. That is the first thing on this list. If you optimize your diet and you have the discipline to do that, you will get ahead. You will level up. That is the first step. Moving on to number 2 on this list, it's got to be training. You have to be training 5 days a week in the gym if you want to see your full results physically and mentally, because when you're training every single day, you mentally feel amazing. I've never seen someone come out of a workout and tell me that they feel worse coming out of the workout. If you've ever worked out before, you know that coming out of your workout, you feel 10 times better than how you felt coming into the workout. So just mentally, if you've had a long day or if it's first thing in the morning, you don't feel good, go for your workout, knock it out. It doesn't have to be that long. Even if it's just like an hour, which is how long my lifts are, make sure you're going super hard. You're doing it with a purpose. You're not just there to be there. You're really attacking it, and you will see the results mentally and physically. The thing that people struggle with the most is diet. But a lot of people eat the right foods, but maybe they're just not training enough. You have to be training 5 days a week. But if you compare that training with the right diet, you will see immediate results and you'll be able to level up. That is the biggest thing, is staying consistent, training 5 days a week, eating the right foods, the proper foods, not the processed foods, the real foods, then pairing that with the right training. That is the blueprint for leveling up. But you have to understand that there is no room for error or taking days off. Like, yeah, even if you're not training, you still have the right diet. My diet is the same every single day of my life, whether or not I'm training. No matter if it's Monday, if it's Saturday, if it's Friday, it does not matter. My diet is the exact same. The model of consistency is what is going to get you to that next level. So if you only do these things Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, you do it your own way, you're not going to reach your full potential. You're not truly going to level up. And that is because so many people actually do these things Monday through Friday, right? They meal prep, they eat the right foods in the office, in school, whatever it is they're doing, wherever they are, they're eating the right foods, and then they're training after that long day, but they're only doing that 5 days of the week. Then Saturday and Sunday, they're adding things, right? The whole point of this is to remove things. The diet is maybe you removing things, because I'm only preaching for 4 foods. If you can stick with those 4 foods, you're probably eating more than 4 foods in your diet right now. And then just the training is pretty simple. You just gotta be able to train, right? But the fact is a lot of this will be removing things. Like what you're doing on the weekend, if you can remove those habits, that is how you will level up, because you're not that different from that many people if Monday through Friday you're doing all these things, you're eating the right foods, and you're training the right way. It's about doing these things every single day of the week, no matter what day it is or no matter what's going on in your life, staying true to it and staying consistent. Moving on to number 3 on this list. Number 3 is distractions. This is a huge one, because people will work their jobs Monday through Friday, get all the work done throughout the week that they're supposed to get done so that they don't get fired. And then once they get that work done, on the weekends they drink, they do things that are not getting themselves ahead, because they want to celebrate the fact that they got all their work done. Essentially celebrating the fact that they did not get fired from that hard week of work. When in reality, if they spent their weekends trying to get ahead, starting something like a side business on the side, they would actually get ahead and maybe not have to work those jobs forever, right? So that is the big thing, distractions. I used to do these things. I used to drink, I used to smoke, I used to do all these things that I thought, were rewards for getting through a tough week, but those were always setting me back. I would always wake up the next day, not feel 100%, not have my full energy, and that is why I was holding myself back, setting myself back, skipping days in the gym, just, skipping all the things I should be doing, eating the right way. All these things came from the fact that I was succumbing to these distractions, doing what is normal in society, and that is why I started off the video by saying if you are willing to do these things, you will get way further ahead than most people in society, because everyone's so distracted, right? You are so talented yourself that you don't even realize it, bro. If you started your own side business or started something that you're good at, like maybe for me it's this, but for you it's something else, you don't even have to show your face, bro. Like ChatGPT, there's so many ways to get ahead just by using ChatGPT or finding something that is a strength of yours, and you can spend your time on the weekends trying to figure out what that may be, instead of just drinking to celebrate the hard week you had, working for someone else, doing something that you hate doing, that, when you do those things on the weekend to celebrate that, you're never going to actually break out of that cycle. Distractions are a huge reason why you're not reaching your full potential. If you can eliminate your distractions, train 5 days a week, sprint the other 2 days, or walk one other day, sprint one of the other days, and then pair that with the right diet where you're only eating animal-based, real foods, sweet potatoes, fresh fruits, organic fruits. If you can just do these 3 things alone, you don't understand how far ahead you'll get, because no one is doing these 3 things, bro. These 3 simple things that are so easy, things that you can do or anyone can do. You don't have to be special to do these things. You just have to have a level of focus and discipline to actually do them. You will get so far ahead. I could quite literally end the video here. I'll add some things, beyond this, but these are the 3 biggest things, bro. The diet, the training, and the distractions. That is why society and the world itself is the way it is today. A lot of people are unhappy. A lot of people, they blame other people or other factors for why they're at where they're at in life when they're not even trying to get ahead. Just by, succumbing to your distractions, not eating the right diet, not training, you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to reach your full potential. If you can do these 3 things, you will actually get to where you want in life. I don't know how much more I can emphasize that, because these 3 things are so important: the diet, the training, the distractions. The distractions could be anything from smoking, drinking, porn, whatever it is, bro. If you can just eliminate that, pair that with the right diet and the right training, you're not eating protein powder, you're eating real foods, you will get ahead. And that's why I'm saying I can literally end the video here. Like, these are the 3 biggest things, but I'm gonna keep going because there are definitely other things you can do to implement that will help you get ahead. Moving on to the 4th point, we got steps / walking. This is another huge part of leveling up. If you're able to wake up and instead of going on your phone, go on a 30-minute walk first thing in the morning, your day will be so much better. You'll have more energy. You'll feel way better throughout the day. You'll actually feel motivated to get things done. That is a huge thing, waking up, hydrating, and going for a morning walk. But just for the steps point of this, try to get 15,000 steps a day. That is a great number to get if you're pairing it with the right diet and training and you're not, succumbing to your distractions. That is great. If you can wake up and go for your walk, that's an easy way to get started. Maybe bang out another walk at some point through the day. If you work a 9-to-5 job, maybe during your lunch break, make it an effort to go and get steps. When you're doing that, and then on top of that, before you go to bed, you're getting another walk. Pairing that with your morning walk will get you to 15,000 steps. A lot of people tell me that they can't get 15,000 steps until I tell them that exact information. And through that information, they start to apply it and they get 15,000 steps quite easily. So you can definitely do it no matter what your situation is. But yeah, just by starting off your morning with a walk is great, because if you wake up and the first thing you do right away is eat, you don't feel ambitious. You might feel lazier throughout the day. You don't have that motivation. When you wake up, you're in a fasted state. You drink water, you go for a walk, then you come back, you hydrate even more, maybe you drink coffee, right? You're training your reward system to associate food with you having done something productive. That is a great way to, stay fasted, keep that habit going, and just makes you feel way better throughout the day. You have better focus, better mental clarity, all the things that you want, you can get from that, training your reward system to associate food with you having to earn something. That'll make fasting much easier too. So definitely steps and walking, that is a huge thing. That'll also keep you shredded, which is a goal for a lot of people. Staying shredded, having abs, going for your walks is a huge way to get there, a very easy way to get there, and something that everyone can do. So that is number 4. All right, guys, moving on to number 5. We have 8 hours sleep. You have to get 8 hours of sleep every single night, because when you get 8 hours of sleep, you have your full energy, you have motivation, you're ready to attack the day. When you're combining your 8 hours of sleep with the morning walk, the right diet, the right training, no distractions, you are operating at your full potential at that point. There is nothing that can stop you, because you have all the right things in place to reach your full potential. If you can get 8 hours of sleep, maybe that means at night you're not watching the game, you're not staying up late watching highlights. I used to stay up super late, watch Netflix, watch games, things that were, really making me distracted. I was doing those things, and that is why I was not getting 8 hours of sleep, because I had to wake up early. But at night, I wanted to use that time to watch videos, just do things that were not getting me ahead. So it really takes you realizing what your distractions are, cutting those out, not going on your phone before you go to sleep. I have those red light glasses that I posted on my story. Those really help, because if I have to do work late at night and I know I have to get my 8 hours, at least when I'm looking at my screen, the blue light's not getting in my eyes. Those red light glasses are really good at blocking the blue light out and keep making sure that when I want to go to bed, I can go to bed. I can fall asleep very easily. But also the diet you eat, it's very correlated with the 8 hours of sleep, because if you're eating the right diet, you're not eating sugars and stuff like that. When you're eating processed sugar, your blood sugar is spiking, especially before bed. That's when people like to eat ice cream. They like to have their cheat meals. Then they wonder why they can't sleep, bro. It's because your blood sugar is getting spiked before bed. That is one of the most unhealthy things you can do, especially if you're trying to get 8 hours of sleep. If you're trying to make that a focus, have your days just feel so much better, you have to be able to cut out your distractions and eat the right foods. Those are huge for that. And then also, bro, training. When you train, you get tired later in the day because you trained, you went super hard in the gym. That's a big reason to train. And then with the steps, all these things correlate with the 8 hours, right? The steps are huge, because if you go for a walk before bed, you will naturally get tired. I've had people tell me how much the night walks help them go to bed, and that's because they're naturally getting tired, they're getting more steps, they're getting those 15,000 steps with the right training. You will always be tired if you are also eating the right foods and limiting distractions. By pairing all of these things together, you will reach your full potential. And by doing all these things the right way, right? Like you can read these things like diet, train, distractions, and think that you can do it your own way, half fast it. Like all these things have to be done to a T, just the way I explained in this video. And that is how I was able to optimize my health, reach my full potential, and do the things I want to do in life instead of doing the things I did not want to do, or do the things that were holding me back. And the one thing I didn't put in here is there is no room for error, right? Like you have to stay consistent and do these things every single day. If you don't stay consistent, you will never be able to actually reach the results you want. And that was the biggest thing holding me back. I was going to the gym, but I wasn't eating the right way, or I wasn't doing the right habits. I wasn't getting steps. It's all of these things paired into one package, and staying consistent with that package every single day of your life, they'll actually get you to reach your full potential. And that is how you will level up. But yeah, as you can see, all 5 of these are super simple things that anyone can do. But the reason that people aren't doing them is because they are super distracted. This is probably the biggest thing holding them back. The biggest thing is being able to do all these things together. Super simple, but these are the things that will get you ahead, because no one is doing them. Everyone's distracted. So if you are able to apply these things to your life, do them every single day, you will pass other people in society, you will level up, you will have the life you want, and you will realize how much better your life is. So that's all I have. Everything I did to level up and reach my full potential. And like I said earlier, super simple, but just the discipline to actually do it to a T every single day. That is the most important thing. So I'll leave you with that. Have a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you applied to help yourself reach your full potential.